I had his baby, but he never knew. For 5 years, I kept the biggest secret of my life. Then one rainy evening, he walked into my small cafe and looked directly into my son's eyes. My name is Emma. I lived in a small town in England. 5 years ago, I loved a man named Daniel. He was kind, smart, and full of dreams. We met at university and spent every day together. We planned our future carefully. We wanted a happy family and a beautiful home. But one day, Daniel suddenly left for another city because of work. Before he left, we had a terrible misunderstanding. He thought I wanted to leave him forever. I tried to explain, but he never answered my calls again. A few weeks later, I discovered I was pregnant. I was shocked and scared. I wanted to tell Daniel the truth, but his phone number changed. I had no way to contact him. My parents were angry, and my friends slowly disappeared from my life. I felt completely alone. When my baby boy was born, I named him Leo. He had Daniel's eyes and smile. Every time I looked at him, I remembered the man I still loved. Life was difficult. I worked long hours in a cafe while taking care of Leo alone. Some nights, I cried quietly after he slept. But Leo always gave me strength. He was my whole world. One rainy evening, a tall man entered the cafe wearing a black coat. I looked up, and my heart suddenly stopped. It was Daniel. What do you think Daniel will do when he learns the truth? Daniel stood near the cafe door, holding an umbrella. Water dripped from his coat. For a moment, neither of us moved. My hands started shaking. Emma, he asked softly. I forced a small smile. Hello, Daniel. He looked different now. Older. More serious. But his eyes were still the same. Warm and gentle. I didn't know you worked here, he said. I own this cafe now, I replied quietly. Before he could answer, Leo ran toward me happily. Mommy, look what I drew. Daniel's eyes moved slowly to the little boy standing beside me. Leo smiled brightly at him. My heart beat faster because they looked so similar. Daniel stared at Leo for several seconds. He's your son? He asked. Yes, I whispered. Leo held my hand tightly and looked curiously at Daniel. Who is he, Mommy? I swallowed nervously. An old friend. Daniel stayed silent, but I noticed confusion in his face. Leo's eyes, smile, even the way he stood, it all reminded him of someone. After a few minutes, Daniel ordered coffee and sat alone near the window. I tried to continue working normally, but I could feel his eyes on us the entire time. Before leaving, he walked toward me again. Emma, can we talk sometime? He asked carefully. I hesitated, then nodded slowly. The next evening, we met in a quiet park near the river. Cold wind moved through the trees while Leo played nearby. Daniel looked nervous. I searched for you years ago, he admitted. But your friend told me you moved away with another man. My eyes widened in shock. What? That's not true. He looked down sadly. I believed her. Tears filled my eyes. One lie destroyed our entire future. Then Daniel looked at Leo again. This time, his face became serious. How old is your son, Emma? I froze completely. Should Emma finally tell Daniel the truth? My heart pounded loudly inside my chest. He is 5 years old, I answered quietly. Daniel slowly calculated the years in his mind. I could see the truth appearing in his eyes little by little. Emma, he whispered, is he, my son? Tears rolled down my face immediately. For years, I imagined this moment many times, but now I could barely speak. Yes, I finally said. Leo is your son. Daniel looked completely shocked. He sat down slowly on the park bench and covered his face with his hands. For several seconds, he said nothing. You never told me, he said painfully. I tried, I cried, I called you again and again. But you disappeared. I had no way to find you. Daniel looked broken inside. I thought you left me. I never stopped loving you, I whispered. At that moment, Leo ran toward us holding a small flower. Mommy, look. Daniel stared at the little boy standing in front of him. His eyes became wet with tears. Leo smiled innocently. Why are you sad? Daniel's voice shook slightly. I'm not sad, buddy. Buddy. The word sounded natural, like he already felt connected to him. Leo handed Daniel the flower happily. Daniel accepted it carefully, almost like it was the most precious thing in the world. Then Leo sat beside him without fear. I watched them silently while emotions filled my heart. After 5 years of loneliness, Leo was finally beside his father. Daniel turned toward me again. You raised him alone this entire time? He asked softly. I nodded. His eyes filled with guilt. I missed his first steps, his first words, everything. You didn't know, I said gently. Daniel looked at Leo once more and smiled through tears. But I know now. Comment. Do you think Daniel deserves a second chance?